Hey, good morning. What's up, Design to Draw? We're moving on to part two of your color wheel design. So the last part of this assignment, you guys did some sketches. I had you print off a template and you made something that looks like this. If your practice brainstorming sketching page looks like this one with pencil outlines and some labels, then congratulations, you actually watched my last video and paid close attention to the instructions for how to do this part of the assignment. All right, so hopefully you've got a bunch of ideas down on paper. Now what we're going to do is take one of those ideas and turn it into your final draft, which will have color, and we're going to do that digitally. All right, so sketch paper, pencil outlines, what I'd like you to do is pick out your best design, all right? Whichever one you think is going to look really cool when you put it all together in this kaleidoscope color thing that we're going to do. All right, so what I've done is using a blank sheet of paper, I took my sketch and I took a black flare pen and I took the best design and I traced it 12 times around the wheel. So what I ended up with is this design that's got radial symmetry and it's got the same layout in each one of the pieces. Creating that symmetry just kind of makes the design look cool when you put it all together. It doesn't mean that you can't do something asymmetric. Some of you had some ideas for like creating a picture in here because you found something on Google or whatever. That's totally fine. As long as you have 12 sections with at least 4 spaces inside of each section, you can kind of do whatever you want with this. But it's really, really, really important that you follow directions on this one exactly. And my first direction is going to be when you trace this, it's got to be done in ink because it's going to make the Photoshop that we're going to do a little bit later easier. All right, so don't do this part in pencil. You have to do it in ink. Black ink is great, but if you just have a blue pen or something like that or a gel pen, that'll work too. Ink, do it in ink. Second thing is when you draw your outlines for your design, you have to make sure that you're careful about things like this. Let me hold it up really close. Notice how that line doesn't touch, how it's kind of floating and open-ended. It's really, really, really important that you get anything like that closed up because when we put this in Photoshop and we go to add color to it, if you've got an open spot like that, your color is going to jump and get into parts that you don't want it to be in. All right, so number one, do it in ink. Number two, make sure that you close up any open lines. Everything's got to be touching in your final draft. All right, so if I back out, that's what it looks like. It's symmetric, it's done in ink, and everything is closed up. And so what I'm going to do next is take my cell phone and shoot a photo of that, which I've already done. So let me show you the photo I took. All right, here's my photo on my phone. Now, before I send this to my school email account to save and then add color to it, I got to do a couple of things to improve my picture. So your picture may have little bits of background in it. It may have some shadows or weird color stuff going on. So before you send this, I want you to go to your edit function. First thing you're going to do is crop the picture. So crop it down close to the edges, get rid of any background or other stuff, make it kind of more of a square. Click done with that. And then the second thing I want you to do is you're going to go to your adjustments and you're going to scroll over to exposure and you're going to crank that all the way up to 100. And then you're going to go to contrast and you're going to crank that one all the way up to 100. What that's going to do is eliminate a lot of the color and a lot of the weird shadows and stuff, the graininess and whatever. It's just going to make it a solid black and white. All right. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to click done and then I'm going to click the share button and I'm going to email it to myself at my school email account. So just send it. And then I'm going to jump over to my email, and you can see that my design has showed up in my inbox. All right, what you do from here, and again, follow directions really closely. You got to watch the whole video, otherwise it's going to get super confusing and you're going to get frustrated. It's been a while since we've used Photoshop, so I'm going to kind of go as slow as I can and make sure that everybody's with me here. But what you're going to do is copy that image directly from the email message, and then in Schoology, you're going to have a Photoshop document that's already set up for you. So I've set this up beforehand. You'll go into Photoshop. Actually, what will happen is you'll click on a link in Schoology. It'll download to your computer, and then you'll open up Photoshop, and this document will open up. The document has a layer that has color samples, and we're going to use that layer to basically borrow colors from to put into your design. All right, what you're going to do is click on this top layer that says My Design, and you're going to go to Edit and Paste. All right, now if you remember from your pen and ink drawing, Control T is the shortcut to resize that. And when I do Control T, I'm going to hold down the Shift button and I'm going to resize it using that corner anchor. Control T also allows you to move this around on the page. So I'm going to resize it and I'm going to slide it around until it's centered in front of me. So something like that. All right. So there's my design. And if I go over here to my layer menu in the lower right and click on the eyeball of my design, it's going to show what's underneath, which is the colors I'm going to be using to paint it with. All right. Now, a couple of tips about Photoshop. If your Photoshop is freezing, if it's glitching, if it's not doing what it's supposed to do, then there's a chance that you either have too many tabs open, which can slow down your computer a lot. We've had trouble with people not restarting their computer very often, and so updates that come out from the district sometimes aren't loaded on your computer. So restarting your computer is another way to prevent some of that. But if you're having trouble, it's really important that you try to either restart it or close down some tabs. And if all else fails and you cannot open Photoshop, call the tech department and make sure you get some help with that, because you should have access to it. Now, if it asks you to log in, if it takes you to the Adobe website or something like that, it says your free trial expired or anything of that nature, anytime it prompts you, make sure you click on Enterprise ID before you log in. That takes you to their group license, which Park Hill has purchased for every student in the district. So Enterprise ID, and then log in with your Park Hill credentials, username and password. All right, so that's about Photoshop. Now, a couple of things to remind you guys about. Control plus will zoom in, Control minus will zoom out. So if you want to get in closer to design and kind of see what you're working on, clean things up, Control plus or Control minus. I already mentioned that Control T is resizing and moving it around. All right. So those are a couple of keyboard shortcuts to remember. And so what we're going to start to do here is, since many of you don't have Paint at home, but you do have Photoshop at home, we're going to use Photoshop to fill in your design with color. All right. So hopefully, if you were following along in video one, you've got a page full of labels and sketches like this. All right, this one's going to come in handy because one of the key components of this assignment, one of the things that'll be on the rubric for grading, is did you put the colors in the correct order? All right, so if red is supposed to go here, and then 3 spaces later yellow, and 3 spaces later blue is supposed to go there, that's what I need to see in your design in order for you to receive credit for that part of the assignment. All right. So make sure that you have a reference somewhere that shows you where the colors are supposed to go. All right. What we're going to do next is really pretty easy. Make sure that you are on your design, the layer that says My Design, and we're going to go over here to the Magic Wand tool. All right. It's on the toolbar on the left side of the screen, fourth one down. It looks like a little magic wand with magic around it. And we are going to click on your first area that you're going to paint. All right, so let's say I want to paint this area around these ovals, and I'm going to do my red hue first. All right, so what I'm going to do is just click in that area with the magic wand, and you can see that the dotted line appears. All right, next we're going to go over here to the paintbrush and click on that. And if you go up to the second row up here at the top, it's got a whole menu of different brushes. It really doesn't matter which one you use because we're just going to fill that space in. So I'm going to choose the hard round, and I'm going to size it so that it's about as big as some of the parts of my design. So on this one, it's 174 pixels, but you can make it bigger or smaller. It doesn't really matter. All right. What I'm going to do from there is I'm going to click off the eyeball, and I'm going to click on the color sample layer, and I'm going to find my red. Now on this color wheel, the order is a little bit like the red's down here, which is fine. But the sequence, it's important that I pay attention to that. So if I start with red, just remember the next one is going to be red orange, and then yellow orange, and so on. All right, so from here, I'm going to go to my eyedropper tool, which is over here on the toolbar just above the paintbrush. And I'm going to select the red hue from my sample colors. All right, now when I do that, when I click on that spot, notice that a little red circle appears, and then it also appears over here in the foreground color. I'm going to go back to my design and click the eyeball on. I'm going to go back up to that place I selected over here, and I'm going to go back to the paintbrush tool. And then once I'm up there and I've got the paintbrush selected, abracadabra, shazam, I can just paint that in. And then to turn off the selection, I'm going to hit Control D as in dog. All right. Now let's say that I want to add my tint of red somewhere in this design. So I'm going to follow the same sequence of steps. Magic wand, select the area, unclick the eyeball, go back to this color sample layer, go to my eyedropper tool, find the tint, which is in this ring, the lighter color. Okay, you see the circle appear, you see that color appear over here on the foreground color. I'm going to click back on the eyeball, click back on that layer, select my paintbrush, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint that spot. Control D to turn it off, and then follow the same process to fill out your shade and your tone. All right, so let's say that I think maybe I'll do the hue in this outer part as well. So I'm going to click on here, turn off the eyeball, go to the color sample layer, go to my eyedropper tool, click inside. I'll see the color appear on the foreground. Click the eyeball back on, click on the design layer, go back up here, go to my paintbrush, and then brush it in. Control D to turn it off, and then I move on to my next color. So for red orange and my tint and my tone and my shade of red orange, I'm going to basically follow the same steps. I'll click on my design, I'll turn off the eyeball, go to the color samples, go find my next color, which in this case is going to be red orange. Use the eyedropper tool, click on it, go back here to this layer, scroll back over to my paintbrush, brush it in. And now I know I've got this second spot that's got the hue, so I'm going to go Control D, select that area, go straight to the paintbrush since I'm using the same color, brush it in, Control D, and then I just continue to fill in the design like that. All right, Control minus to zoom out, kind of check out what I've got. When you're all done, it's going to look really cool, very colorful. It's going to look much different from this boring one that I farmed off of the internet, and it's going to have some pretty neat color effects. So that's pretty much the process you follow. When you're finished with this and you're ready to save it, all you have to do is go to Save As, change the Save As type to JPEG right here in the middle. Make sure you title it with your name and your grade. All right, hit save, and then submit your finished work in Schoology for your grade. All right, so feel free to create the design as you like, as long as you have the required number of colors and you've got a hue, a tint, a tone, and a shade for each one of those 12 color wheel hues. Then that's kind of the point of this whole assignment, is just kind of to see what some of those variations of color are, kind of give you some background in color theory so that when we move on to our painting projects later on, you've got a little bit of experience.